Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World tonight. For Thais overseas must be quite anxious to return home because all the inbound flight to Thailand has to be suspended until 18th of April. Nevertheless, the Thai government is dealing with the request by Thai overseas who want to return home in this juncture. Thai PBS World tonight talked to Deputy Spokesman of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We just mentioned about the request by Thais who would like to return to Thailand. So can you tell us more about tomorrow? There will be more Thais arriving Thailand?
Yes, sure. So as you mentioned, with the ban on flights until the 18th of April, but of course, for Thai repatriation flights that are arranged in advance prior, of course, that is arranged by the government. The flights that we have arriving today are from the Netherlands and from Singapore, 15 and 18 Thai nationals respectively. For tomorrow, we still have from Russia and Japan, and of course in due course from the United States as well.
So these Thai people have already made clear that they have the so-called fit-to-fly certificates, right, and letters of recommendation from the embassies or consulates. So these people have all been cleared as far as these documents are concerned.
Yes. In principle, every Thai embassy is in touch with the Thai citizens and are aware of their request and have coordinated closely in terms of all the documentation that is necessary, the registration to inform of the intention to return. But of course, I have to say that each country is different. They have different circumstances and different timing as well. Some countries are big countries, so the Thai citizens who want to return live in different states or cities far apart from each other. So it's a matter of management, which is important. The underlying principle is, of course, there is the repatriation part. There's two methods of repatriation, actually. The first is, of course, reciprocal flights. Of course, it's different according to each location. And the second type, of course, which is still being discussed for some countries, is about charter flights to specific destinations. So there's the repatriation reciprocal commercial flight on one side, and the charter flights on the other side. Both are being discussed.
I see, but I'm sure that the Foreign Ministry must already have notified all these returnees that they would be subject to a 14 days of quarantine either at the state or local level, right? So that there won't be any kind of misunderstanding that we saw last week.
Yes, correct, Kun Thepchai. The embassy has made clear to all the Thai citizens requesting for repatriation that they have to agree to enter the state quarantine process. It's a 100% state quarantine process. So the challenge, which of course the agencies are up to speed and discussing this, is of course to coordinate between three issues. The first is the number of Thais wanting to repatriate. The second is the readiness of the state quarantine sites. And the third is the readiness of the medical staff. So there are three factors to this mission. It's the mission approach has three important factors. And the agencies and the meeting yesterday of CCSA discussed this in detail to configure and link these three factors so that the mission can be successful. It's like three factors. Right? It's about triangulation of three factors, and management is the key word. Yes.
Nice. See, the Prime Minister today issued an appeal to the Thais overseas that if they can hold off their return to Thailand, they better do so. And the government is ready to consider giving out some kind of financial assistance to them, the way that many Thais are benefiting from now. So is it something that being discussed or has been finalized?
It's actually, as you mentioned, Kun Thepchai, it's an appeal. So we ask for Thai citizens to hold off their return if possible, of course, because it's different. It's a different circumstances for every Thai person. Of course, some might be able to still stay in the country they reside in safely. Some would have to have a more urgent purpose to return. So that's an important. So it's been discussed in the meeting. Actually, the latest meeting of the CCSA is discussing this. I can't tell you anything further. I don't have information on this, but it's still being discussed about the pros and cons of this matter.
And can you tell us, for Thai who want to repatriate to Thailand, where are they right now mostly?
Countries that we have are, for example, India, Iran, Australia, and Nepal. Those are the people, the Thais who live in those countries, not in transit and airports, who live in those countries but wish to return. And as I mentioned, the underlying principle is that there are two types: repatriation by commercial flight and charter flights. So if it's a big number, like those 4 countries I mentioned, discussion is underway for a possible charter flight.
The largest group of the Thais overseas seem to be those who are in our neighboring countries, like in Malaysia, for example. So what is the status now?
Yes, okay. So just now we were talking about Thais abroad who would be possibly entering by air, right? By air.
Yeah.
So if you go by land, that's another issue. So by land, actually now, yes, as you mentioned, there are a large number of Thai people who want to return. And there are 5 agencies, including the Foreign Ministry, Interior, and other agencies in Thailand discussing this about the capacity, which I mentioned, capacity of state quarantine. Capacity of state quarantine in the southern region near Malaysia. So that is, of course, most suitable and convenient for Thais wanting to return. In the border provinces, around 350 persons per day is the most appropriate entry by the land border entering from Malaysia, because we have to consider that the border checkpoints, not all are big. There are big checkpoints between Thailand and Malaysia, like Sungai Kolok or Sadao, and the smaller ones like Betong, Tam Malang, or Wang Pachan. So all these, we calculated the ideal number of people that can enter per day, so that the state quarantine capacity can service them.
So for the Thai who want to return to Thailand, is about 20,000. But each day, can we say that Thailand can accommodate for about 200 each per day?
That is the discussion now, but 200 is only by airplane arrival only. And don't forget that there is the option of charter flights and repatriation flights, commercial flights. The number is, of course, not set by the Foreign Ministry alone. It's a discussion between many agencies. It's a line of communication, because when people travel in, the quarantine has to be ready. The medical staff has to be ready. But I don't want the public to view this as a queue, a queue to take turns to come in, or trying to come in before other people, and cutting the line. It's not a queue. It's about management. So most likely, not all flights will come at the same time anyways. As I mentioned just now, the one from Russia and Japan is tomorrow. Today was Netherlands and Singapore, and in the future US, AFS, whatever. By the time that the coordination takes place, they can space out and schedule the flights not to come in the same day for the best management purpose, for the best quarantine and control of communicable diseases. And I think the Thai citizens will understand.
And that's all from Thai PBS World tonight.